So I am representing SurrogateFirst. My name is Yessenia Latorre, and we're going to be talking about Surrogacy Escrow. This is a really good topic, and I'm so excited to introduce Kaitlyn Oberley, and she is a senior arts paralegal at SeedTrust. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much, Yessenia. I'm so excited to be here today with you guys to discuss escrow and the importance of it, especially with a surrogacy journey. So a little bit about myself. I am Kaitlyn Oberley. I work for SeedTrust Escrow, and I have been with SeedTrust for a little over 4.5 years. I am one of the senior paralegals and will be actually merging into one of our escrow consultant roles here shortly.
Wow.
Yeah, so I actually have such a passion for the industry. I've been with SeedTrust 4.5 years, but I've been in the art industry for a little over 7 years. I started out as a paralegal at a law firm dealing with the parental establishment process and establishing parental rights for intended parents. And so that's where my love for surrogacy started. And then I had the opportunity to work for SeedTrust on a different route of surrogacy, more on the escrow side. And while I've been at SeedTrust, I've helped manage over thousands of cases from egg donor journeys to surrogacy journeys, and have met some wonderful people along the way. And so I'm just excited to be here today to share escrow and best practices and what to look for when choosing an escrow company.
That's amazing. I actually have personal experience working with you guys for my egg donation and surrogacy journey, and it was a spectacular experience. And just to introduce myself to our viewers, my name is Yessenia Latorre, and I'm a surrogacy educator with SurrogateFirst. I'm a previous egg donor and a surrogate, and I have a big TikTok following talking everything about surrogacy, and I love to share my knowledge on it. So I'm so excited that you're here today.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go over some of the things that we will be discussing today. And I just want to let everybody know that these webinars are all recorded, so we could always send you a copy of it at the end. And if you guys have any questions for us, please put them down in the chat. So we love to answer your questions. But some things we will be discussing is why you should have an escrow account, what to look for when picking an escrow company, the advantages of using escrow, and why you should only use a third-party escrow, and more. Okay. So Kaitlyn, could you please explain to people that don't know what an escrow is? What is an escrow?
Yeah, absolutely. So escrow is a financial arrangement where, I guess specifically, my bad, within surrogacy escrow, it is an account where the intended parents would place the funds for a surrogacy or egg journey or egg donation journey. Within this account, it's managed by an escrow company, and they ensure that the funds are secure and protected for all the interests of the parties involved. Specifically with SeedTrust, we make sure that these funds are dispersed per the terms of the legal agreements with surrogates and egg donors. So it's just a secure way to keep your funds when you're going through an egg donor or surrogacy journey.
Yes, I love that, especially with SeedTrust, that they have people going over the contracts to make sure they're only giving out money according to the contract and not just passing out people's money like it's nothing. So I love that about SeedTrust.
Yes, our goal here is to make everything transparent with all parties. Also giving parents the peace of mind that their funds are in a secure account and that they are being maintained by license and bonds, and knowing that that the funds are being dispersed for the best interest of all parties.
Yes. Okay, we can go to the next one. So what are escrows used for? So in my experience, I used escrows for base payments, insurance payments, medical bills, and I believe the parents use it to pay the agency. Can you tell us a little bit of what other things escrows are used for?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's really great about establishing an escrow account for your surrogacy journey or egg donor journeys is you can open this account at any time. Some intended parents prefer to open it once their legal contract has been fully executed, while others decide to open it once they're matched, just so that all payments can be processed through this account. So generally, we see base payments, insurance payments, all medical bills, agency fees, legal fees can also be processed through the accounts. We work with many law firms, and these payments are very easily to process to them. We also recommend having pretty much all payments for your journey going through this account, just so you can keep what's been taken care of and knowing that everything is coming out of one account instead of multiple different directions. So we also will see, once the surrogates become pregnant, a lot of their base compensations are paid on a scheduled payment calendar. Here at SeedTrust, we have what actually is called the scheduled payment calendar, where we'll schedule all of their base compensations per the terms of the gestational surrogacy agreement. Within that, we also will schedule monthly allowance payments, depending on the language of the contract, depending if she's to receive it once the contract's been executed. Sometimes we see it at med start or embryo transfer, just depending on those terms of the agreement is when here at SeedTrust we schedule those payments. We also we like to schedule the maternity clothing allowance, just because if that's something your surrogate receives, just because that's a scheduled payment at a certain time of the journey. So that will go out, and we usually will see lots of travel going out of the escrow as well. So when your surrogate's traveling depending on when you open that account, it could be a medical clearance, so those payments can be processed through the account, or if she's traveling for her embryo transfer or even the delivery. So we do see lots of payments going through escrow, and we highly recommend opening it as soon as possible.
Yes, I really think it's important to have all your funds in a secure place. And this is just some reasons why we should have an escrow account. So I wrote financial protection, impartial mediation, legal compliance, confidentiality and privacy, professional expertise, and peace of mind. And SeedTrust encompasses all of these values. So it's something that I think is so important. Okay. 1 second. Let me see. Can you explain how fee structures and pricing can vary from different escrow companies? Because I'm really interested in learning about that, just because I previously only worked with you guys.
Absolutely. So I do know that depending on what type of escrow company, there are a few out there, and the fee structure can vary. For SeedTrust, we have a one-time management fee. And with that, that means that fee is going to be deducted at the initial funding of the account. So no matter if you're going to be rematched with another surrogate, or if your account has to remain open for a while, we don't ever charge an additional fee for that. I do know that it would be something intended parents to ask when they are looking at other escrow providers, if there are additional fees that will be charged to their account at other times of the journey. Here at SeedTrust, we do not charge additional fees. We have that one-time management fee, and that comes out of the initial funding of the account.
Oh, that's great. So they're not getting unexpected fees. It's paid up front. It's really easy. Okay. Okay. And I wanted to ask another question. How can we get an account set up with SeedTrust?
Absolutely. So it's really easy. So it kind of can go two ways. Either if intended parents are working with a surrogacy agency, they can have their agency reach out to us, set an introduction, and then provide their match sheet information. If they are not working with an agency, they can contact us directly, which I'm happy to provide that email address here at the end of the webinar. And we can just gather some basic information from them, basic contact information, their surrogate's contact information, and the attorneys that they are working with for their journey. and then we can proceed with the account opening.
Okay, great.
And then Yessenia, just kind of going back to the previous slide, and just really why it's important to have an escrow account. And just some things that for intended parents to keep in mind when they're choosing one. You want to make sure that you feel comfortable with who you're choosing. You want to make sure that when you're sending these funds that you are being protected financially. As I mentioned a little bit ago, it's important to have a company that is bonded, and with that means that once your money's sent, it's going to be secure. Something the escrow company maybe mispaid the payment, that's not going to fall back on you, that they're going to cover those costs if that's their mistake. That's something really important to consider. You also want to make sure that you're choosing a non-biased provider. With third-party escrow, they are non-biased, and that means they don't have any partiality to one party of the surrogacy agreement or donor agreement. They're going to be a completely non-biased party, and they're going to review just the terms of the contract and process payments based on those terms. And then you want to make sure that your escrow provider is completely transparent, that you can see in real time going in and out of that account. I know at SeedTrust, we have designed our system as a 24/7 online platform to where our parents can log in at any time and see their ledger balance, see what payments are being requested on their account, scheduled payments, and then same for our surrogates. They always have access to view those payments as well, any payments that are being processed to them. So it's just really important to consider those things when you're looking for an escrow.
Yeah, I believe all those. I think SeedTrust is really amazing. I believe they have a $40 million bond on each of their accounts, or on the accounts total. And I think that's really amazing because your money is secure. And if anything happened, you're covered regardless. And we're going to talk about some questions that you should ask. Well, what do you need to know about when choosing an escrow service? So one of the things is their reputation, their expertise, their legal compliance, like what we just talked about, their security on their funds, their transparency, fees, all their professional network. I know that at SeedTrust, there are lots of great professionals working with your team, and also seeking referrals from trusted sources. Maybe you know somebody who's been through a surrogacy journey before, and maybe they had a really good escrow service. You can find out that in many different ways. What do you think? Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think that you should look for when choosing an escrow service?
I just think you want to work with someone who you really feel comfortable with. Do your research. Look at reviews. I know when I'm choosing to work with any type of company, that's the first thing I look at. I'm going to go look at reviews. I'm going to research them. I'm going to see how long they've been around. I'm going to see what do they offer. What do they offer that maybe someone else does not? And then you just really want to make sure you're feeling comfortable, with who you're working with. You call them, email them, see if they're good feeling for them. And you want to make sure you're working with qualified people. I know with SeedTrust, we have a whole team of very qualified paralegals who are overseen by an attorney. So everything that we are sending out is going to be attorney backed. We're reviewing contracts. We have a team that has had years of experience in contracts. And you just want to make sure you're working with a reputable company.
Yes. And I would say, what do you think are some red flags that you should look for when you're saying like, no, I'm definitely not using that escrow service? Any red flags that you know about?
I would just say I would work with a fund management escrow service, meaning that they are going to follow the terms of that agreement, that legal contract. You don't want to work with someone who's just going to nilly-willy approve payments, in a sense. You want to make sure that those payments are being processed for what you're agreed on. And you also want to make sure that you know where your funds are going, and that, like I know we keep saying, but that they're licensed and bonded, just to make sure that your funds are safe. I would think those would be the main two important factors when choosing an escrow provider.
So what do you think about some companies that have an in-house escrow? And what do you think are the reasons why you should choose a third-party escrow company instead?
So in-house escrow, it's going to be on one-sided. So either you're going to be going with an in-house of your intended parents or an in-house of your surrogates. Because those are their clients, they are going to have more partiality to that, meaning if there were to ever become a dispute between a payment, they're going to have to most likely go with whoever they're representing or whoever their clients are. So you really want to try to steer away from that and go with a third party that is non-biased, that are not representing just one of the parties. Just in the case of a dispute, it's always going to be handled in the terms of whatever the agreement is saying, or the terms, or coming to an agreement between all parties.
Yeah, so when I was doing some research for this topic, I found out that some companies might, like if it was an in-house escrow, that they might say this medication costs $5,000 and it turned out it only costs $1,000. So I believe going with a third-party escrow brings way more security with knowing where your money is going. It's your hard-earned money. And it's so important that people are not just lying about what things cost just to benefit themselves and not benefit the people that we're trying to protect.
Absolutely. And I know, at least here at SeedTrust, we request documentation for all of those type of payments. Like you were saying, if we are getting requests for medication, we want to see the receipt that is a surrogacy medication, and that is what it costs. Or if it's a medical bill, that it is for the surrogate, or for and that insurance has been applied. And you're just kind of doing these checks and balances and not just processing payments as they're coming in. So you trust but verify. And so that's super important, and the requirement for us is documentation for a request.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Even as a surrogate and an egg donor myself, there were times where I had to upload my documents just to show that I really did pay for these items, because who knows, you could, for example, if a surrogate just put in a bill, but she didn't even pay it, and then it's paid out to her, that just doesn't make any sense. So I think it's really important to have people review everything that's coming out of the account is something that's really important, I believe.
Absolutely. No, I most definitely agree with that.
So what are some common questions that you get working at SeedTrust?
Yeah, so I would say a lot of times it's how your portal works. A lot of people are interested in just the process with us. They want to know, once you're started, how does everything work? So I kind of can go into that. With SeedTrust, we have a 24/7 online portal. Once an account has been established, the surrogate and the intended parents will receive a welcome email. And within that link, they're able to create their password and their profile. Intended parents and surrogates have a little bit different view. The intended parents are able to see all of their ledger, their running balance. They have access to the funding options. So we have several different ways that intended parents can fund their accounts. We have a wire transfer. We can have funds by credit card, e-check, as well as ACH transfer. So they'll have information on how to send their funds. And then they also kind of see all the documents that need to be submitted through the journey. So for example, if they have their agency retainer agreement, that'll be uploaded. If they're once we receive the surrogacy contract, that'll be uploaded. And then we will also have all of the documentation submitted with each of the surrogacy requests. So those will also be uploaded within the portal for parents to go back and review at any time. What's great for our surrogates is all payments are sent via ACH. So once a surrogate receives her welcome email, she's able to click on that link and input her ACH information into our system, and any payment that's due to her is going to be to her within 1 to 2 business days of process. It's going to go directly to her bank account, which I know for a lot of our surrogates and donors, it's super important because their funds are received within a timely manner and once the requests have been submitted.
That's amazing. Okay. So yeah, in my experience, I really enjoyed using the calendar feature that you guys had. I would always love to know when I'm getting my payments, and it's always there on time. It's always secure. I took some things from the SeedTrust website that I thought it was important to share. Just some things about their company. So the fund safety, like I said, that they have a $40 million bond, and then the funds are further secured by a $2 million general liability policy, a $1 million errors and omissions policy, and a $1 million cyber incidents protection policy. I think those are also important to know that your money is secure. Your information is secure because SeedTrust abides by all HIPAA laws. And they're really simple to use. I've used them so many times. Just go on the website, or you can even go on your phone and you can check when your payments or when you have to add in money, whatever you need to do. They're highly qualified professionals with over 50 years of experience in law, accounting, banking, and assisted reproductive technology, and they're trustworthy overall. So is there anything you would like to add about SeedTrust?
I would just say that we are just a team of highly passionate individuals in this industry, and we truly love what we do. And we truly love trying to take the financial stress off of these families as they are building their family. We want to take it off of the surrogate so she can focus on other things except for her payments. And we want to take the focus off the parents to knowing that all the payments being dispersed from their account are being processed per the terms that all the parties have agreed on.
Oh, great. And I, like I told you guys, I previously used SeedTrust. I took some reviews off of their websites. They have hundreds of reviews. If you guys want to check it out, right on their websites. But I have some reviews from intended parents and a gestational surrogate. A gestational surrogate said, honestly, it was absolutely amazing how simple you've made this part of the process. Thank you so much. And that's how I definitely felt like it was for me. Really easy to use, to see when my next payment's coming. And all of that is extremely great.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. That's our main focus each day, that we're making this process more simple for all of the parties involved.
Okay. Sorry, just adjusted myself. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined our webinar today. If you guys ever have any questions for me, you can definitely send me an email at Yessenia@surrogatefirst.com. And you can message Kaitlyn Oberley. They're at info@SeedTrustEscrow.com. I don't know what's going on with my slide there, but that is their email. It is info@SeedTrustEscrow.com. And do you guys have a phone number that people could call if they have questions as well?
Yeah, we do. So our number is actually 888-223-9818. And then I also wanted to say, if anyone had any questions, you can email me directly as well at Kaitlyn@SeedTrustEscrow.com. So either one, Kaitlyn@SeedTrustEscrow.com or info@SeedTrustEscrow.com. We'll get you a response or answer any questions that you may have.
Yes, and I guess the overall reason for using escrow is the security. It's a security for everybody. You should always go with a third-party escrow, never an in-house escrow. Using an escrow is just for the safety, the security, and we highly recommend it. I really highly recommend that you guys check out SeedTrust Escrow. They are amazing, and I've only had good experiences with them. So I really want to thank you, Kaitlyn, for taking your time chatting with me. I really love to hear about your company.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Yessenia, for having me today, and also promoting SeedTrust. We love what we do, and we are happy to answer any questions anyone has about third-party escrow.
Yes, and do you guys have any pre-cuts or any partner companies that you guys work with?
Yeah, so we also have, or I'm sorry, what,
Oh, sorry. I missed what I was saying. So do you guys have any other products or any partner companies?
Yeah, so we have our sister company, Orchid, and that is an agency, the Surrogacy Journey management company. And so if you ever wanted to have if you had any questions about that, I would be happy to get you in touch with one of our client specialists with Orchid as well.
Yes, I'm familiar with Orchid. I believe I met them at the Seeds conference.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, SurrogateFirst and SeedTrust Escrow, we are all affiliated with Seeds. And I'm so thankful to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Yessenia. It's been a pleasure getting to speak with you about SeedTrust and our services, and just hearing more from your point of view as well.
Thank you so much.